What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. Check it out.
Up first is going to be Cody Cunningham with Suns.com.
Julie said, hold on 1 second.
Okay, that's good with us. Okay, Cody, I think you're good to start us off.
Hey, Book, a 40-point triple-double for you tonight. Your first ever triple-double in your first ever Western Conference appearance, Western Conference Finals appearance. Just, how special did that feel tonight?
I mean, it's very special, but, the win feels better. That's what I'm out there for the whole entire time. So, part of the triple-double is the assist, and that's, my teammates making them pay for, running and doubling and, seeing different types of defenses. The rebounds come from DA boxing out, when he has a Zubac or Boogie and me coming in and getting the rebound. So, it takes a whole collective team group to get what we got done tonight.
Next up is Mark Schwartz with ESPN, followed by Paul Richardson.
Look, that was fun to watch.
Thank you.
I was thinking a lot of times when I see you go off like you did today, I think about Kobe, and I know maybe you think about Kobe too. What were you thinking, if anything, and how did Kobe and Chris Paul, for that matter, help you do what you did out there today in your first ever conference finals game?
I mean, just what you said. I've been a student of the game, for a really long time, and Kobe obviously being one of my mentors, and Chris being one of my mentors, and not being able to be here with us today. We wanted to do it for him. We talked about that pregame. We knew we were going to all have to give it, a little bit more. Ball security. My job keeping everybody involved. Stuff that's usually on Chris's plate. We all had to make up for it today as a team, and just the mentality, people say the Mamba mentality, just the approach of, doing whatever it takes, at all costs to get a win. It might not be 40 points next game, it might be more assists or making more plays for my teammates, the hockey assists. So, every time down, just, valuing every possession. And that's something that, Chris doesn't talk about much, but, he's second to none in that category. So just picking up bits and pieces and, using them to my advantage.
Next up is Paul Richardson, followed by Tressa Rusnak.
Book, you ran a lot. First off, congratulations. Second of all, you ran a lot of point guard with the ball in your hand. You seem to really have a good flow, a good feel for the game. When did it, I don't want to say when did it become comfortable, but when did you kind of know that you were in that flow and you could read exactly what the defense was giving you, and when the...
Yeah, it's just reading the game, from beginning to end. It's the playoffs. Team's going to make adjustments. Team's going to throw different defenses at you. And, the preparation with our team and, our coaching staff, I feel like we're ready for any type of defense that we see. Obviously they're playing small ball lineup, and they're going to be switching a lot of action. So, we have to find ways to counter that. But a really good defensive team over there. Aggressive defensive team over there. So, we just have to take care of the ball and make the right plays.
Next up is Tressa Rusnak with AZ Family, followed by Kevin Zimmerman.
Hey, Booker, congratulations on tonight. I'm sorry if this is a little repetitive, but just being in the environment tonight in the gym and just seeing how loud everyone was, and you've been waiting for this moment a long time. Was there a point when you were on the court where you kind of were like, yeah, this is happening, or just something where you felt like this was your moment?
Right at the end, right when we secured that last rebound, so, they're not a team to take lightly. We understand what they've done in their past few games of playing all the way through. They came back from a 25-point deficit last game. So, we know we have to finish out every win, until the horn sounds. So, you might see some emotion or some aggression at some points of the game, but, I feel like I had to let it out right at the end when we secured game one.
Next up is Kevin Zimmerman from Arizona Sports, followed by Richard Sains.
Hey, Book, sorry if you already mentioned this, but it looked like you were on your phone while leaving the floor. Were you talking to Chris there, and what, if possible, were you saying to him and having that conversation?
Yeah, we put him on FaceTime. He's our leader. We lean on him for a lot. And we know how disappointed he is and frustrated he is. He couldn't be out here for game one of the Western Conference Finals, especially knowing his past history around this time. But we know we had him all the way through. We brought him in the locker room. We had him in our after game huddle. So he's proud of us. He's ready to get back. He's working, and we can't wait to have him.
Next up is going to be, Joe Van from The Athletic, followed by Cameron Cox.
Hey, Devin. DeAndre had 20 points tonight, and you guys had 54 points in the paint as a team. They kind of adjusted in the second half, going bigger. How did you feel about that kind of big versus small cross matching, and how you guys fared in that?
That's what we expected. We've been watching their games. We've been scouting them, and, they use the small ball lineup a lot. But, it's a different matchup. We have a different team, and, DeAndre's seen that before, and we try to take advantage of that. We try to use our size as an advantage. I think the first play of the game, DeAndre got an offensive rebound and laid it in. So hopefully, we make teams adjust to us and use our size as our strength when they try to use those lineups. And, when they go big, we get right back to what we do.
Okay, sorry, we're going to go back we'll come back to him in a second. First up is going to be Cameron Cox with 12 News. Then we're going to go back to Richard Sains.
Hey, Book, congrats on the win. You've been in a lot of big moments throughout your career. You've been in a lot of good shooting zones, but where would you rank this performance that you had tonight throughout your career, and given the moment and magnitude, everything on the line?
I'll let you guys do the rankings. I'm just going out there to, win every game possible. And, I've been saying it since the start of the playoffs. Every next game is our biggest game. So that's for everybody else to, rank performances and that such. I'm just out there trying to do my job, and, that's to win basketball games at all costs.
Next up is Richard Sains, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Hey, Devin, congrats on the win and your performance tonight or today. Kind of a two-parter here. I want to ask about the pace and poise, because, the pace of this game was relentless. How does that play in you guys' favor, especially having the fresh legs after getting, more time off, and then just your poise down the stretch, not only making shots, but setting up the guys around you as well?
Yeah, the pace of play, that's what we've played with, all season. We rely on our defense, and, if we get a stop, it lets our offense move slowly, move freely. Any type of set or play, in the playoffs, teams have scouted that, so they understand that. So, Coach always says he puts us in environments, and, we just have to make plays, make basketball plays, be aggressive, and, put them in rotation. And that's our job. 1 through 5 is everybody, do their part and just go out there and hoop. But, it starts on the defense end and guarding.
Next up is Dwayne Rankin from the Arizona Republic, followed by David Brandt.
Oh, what up, Wayne? What's up, man?
I'm good.
All is well. All is well.
What happened? How are you feeling when you grabbed that last rebound and just solidified the victory?
Yeah, it felt good, man. We want to protect home court, so that was big for us to come out and secure that one. I don't know if I showed that much emotion, through the playoffs that much, but, not having Chris out there and it, being a high intense game, we wanted that one bad. So, it's obviously only one. We know what they're capable of and what they've done. Came back down 0-2 from, their past 2 series. So, we got to stay locked in.
Did you know you were well on your way to a triple-double?
No, man. I think I've came close a few times in my career and just never got over the hump, but, I'll take it now.
Next up is David Brandt with the Associated Press, followed by Chris Haynes.
Hey, Devin. I'm in here too.
Oh, man.
Good to see you on. Paul George and you were trading some pretty elite shots in that third quarter, and he got going, and then you kind of had to respond. Did you feel it was kind of an important, they were threatening to run away a little bit, and then you scored, a bunch of those mid-range jumpers? Just kind of take me through that stretch.
Yeah, just, trying to assert my aggressiveness in there. Without Chris, taking on the playmaking role, of trying to find the balance of keeping everybody involved and imposing my will on the game. And, I think they got up 6-8. I know what stretch you're talking about. And, I just want to be aggressive. So, we did a lot of high ball screens and just get to my spot and make some shots.
Next up is Chris Haynes with Yahoo Sports, followed by Kent Summers.
You got an old school game.
Mm-hmm.
You get it done. The fundamentals are there. The way you carry yourself, the old school cars you drive in. Where did all this come from?
It's a product of my environment. I always credit, the different situations that I've lived in and growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then moving to Moss Point, Mississippi. For me at that time, that was a big culture shock. Just two totally different demographics. But, I fell in love with culture, of figuring out people and, why they act the way they are. And it's usually where they're from. So just being a sponge to it, being a sponge to everybody around me, everybody I grew up with, and, just seeing different things and just loving culture and loving people. So that's where it came from.
Next up is Kent Summers from the Arizona Republic, followed by Anthony Slater.
Obviously, a lot of tension is going to be on the triple-double for good reasons, but how important was it to play all those minutes, handle the ball as much as you did, and only have 2 turnovers personally and just 7 as a team?
Every time you say turnovers, I think of Chris, man. I've been alongside him all season and, just watching him, control the game and how, he just never turns the ball over. When he does, it's a rare sighting. So, we knew that was going to be a key for us today is taking care of the ball, with the type of defense that they play. Aggressive style defense where they gamble a lot and, we'll reach and we just have to be ready for that. I think if we take care of the ball, put us in pretty good situations and, we usually get a good shot.
Next up is Anthony Slater with The Athletic, followed by Greg Moore.
What up?
They talk about 3-level scorers, right? How important would you say that the second level is, that mid-range? And as it's, over the last decade, kind of diminished league-wide, how committed have you been to really, keeping that second level and what you do there?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much been my game my whole life. And I never shied away from it. And, I never have not took them shots. And I just feel that's what a lot of defenses give up, living by the so-called analytics. But, I think it's for certain players. And if you put your work in and, you shoot those shots at a high clip that, it's tough for a defense to guard that because, that's what they've been giving up all season.
Next up is Greg Moore with the Arizona Republic, followed by Mark Spears.
Hey, Devin, good to see you, man. Congratulations on the big game, big win. I noticed, too, that about the first 3.5 minutes of the game, you didn't take a shot. You moved the ball in a lot of different ways that early. And I noticed that every other one of your teammates got a shot up before you did. I'm curious, was that something you went into consciously to show trust in your teammates, or did that just happen because you trust your teammates?
I always trust my teammates, but, usually the first few minutes of the game is, scanning and analyzing what's going on and what they're throwing at you. I watched all their games versus Utah and Dallas and watched how they guarded Luka and Donovan. So we had a pretty good idea of what they were going to throw at us and continue to throw at us. So, with a small ball lineup, they're going to switch a lot of actions and, they're going to run and hit and double that. It's kind of hard to time it because they do it randomly. But, I trust my teammates. It's easy to get off the ball and have somebody else make a play. We've been doing that and punishing teams with that all season.
Our last 2 questions are going to be with Mark Spears from ESPN, followed by Mark Medina.
Well, kind of off the beaten path question. Your GM got
Yeah.
GM of the year, your money got one Coach of the Year award. Debated more about the other one, as you talked about.
100%.
What do those 2 guys mean to you, and do you think having those 2 African Americans in this position of power could ultimately help open doors for others with a lot of coaching job, though.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of what they're doing. You know, people are realizing, understanding what's going on, and you know who the real basketball minds are. That you know put countless numbers of hours into their craft and their work, and you know I've seen those situations of being on the court before, so you know it's easier for them to approach us with conversation when they have an understanding where we're coming from. And I think that connection, you know, the general manager and the head coach, you know, that connection, that relationship with the players is very important if you want to, you know, win big.
And quick follow-up, have any players on other teams asked you what that's like?
They haven't. They haven't. I don't talk to many
Do you
people on
see
different
kind of as
teams.
a rarity, like appreciate the rarity. I mean, having that.
Yeah, we
opportunity?
have to. You have to give your props to Ty over there also, you know, coaching their team. So, you know, it's, you know, the game is transforming. You see, you know, more African Americans in position. And I think it's going to continue to happen if you continue to see success and understand how important the relationship aspect of it is.
Our last question is with Mark Medina, USA Today.
Hey, Devin, good to see you. Yeah, obviously you guys would like CP on the floor, but what do you think's been the process this playoffs and being able to adjust with or without him, as well as just handling the different season-long challenges that have been unique to this year?
Yeah, it's tough. But we talked at the beginning of the season and said if we want to get to where we go, you know, you're going to have to come out with something. You know, it's not going to be gravy all the way through. It's not going to be sweet all the way through. So, you know, our job is to, you know, control the controllables. You know, whatever the situation is, we have to adjust to it. And, you know, we have to keep playing through and keep playing hard. And, you know, that's the story of our team. And that's been it for the whole season. Just keep playing hard no matter the circumstances, all 48 minutes.
Thanks for the time, Book.
Appreciate it.